Your soulmate is about to surprise you. It's about where you are. Don't scroll past this. Pause right here and listen to this carefully, because the timing of this message is not accidental, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you don't fully understand why yet. Stay till the end, because what's being revealed isn't about chasing, moving, or changing anything on the outside. It's about recognizing what has already shifted inside you. You've been asking the universe when love will arrive, who it will be, how it will happen, but listen to this. The universe has been preparing the place within you where love can finally land without chaos. This is not about distance, it's not about timing, it's not about luck, it's about location, and the location is emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Don't scroll, because this matters more than you realize. There was a version of you that would have missed this surprise entirely, not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't ready to receive love without attaching fear to it. You had to arrive here first, to this calmer place, this grounded place, this place where you no longer confuse longing with destiny. Listen to this carefully. Your soulmate isn't being delayed, they're being synchronized. They are not trying to find you in motion, they are drawn to you in stillness. That's why things have felt slower lately. That's why life has felt quieter. That's why the universe has been stripping distractions instead of adding excitement. This message is for you because you thought nothing was happening, when in reality everything was aligning. Your heart needs this right now because you may have mistaken stillness for stagnation. It's not stagnation. It's positioning. You are being positioned emotionally, spiritually, and energetically for a meeting that won't feel dramatic, but will feel undeniable. Don't scroll, because here's where it gets real. Your soulmate surprise is not about a big confession or a sudden whirlwind. It's about recognition. Recognition that happens in an ordinary moment, in a familiar environment, when you're not trying to impress, not trying to heal, not trying to prove anything. That's why the surprise shocks you. You expected destiny to feel loud, but destiny feels calm when the soul is ready. Listen to this. You didn't reach this place by accident. You earned it through heartbreak, through healing, through choosing yourself when it was hard, through letting go of versions of love that required you to shrink. Angel numbers may have been appearing around you lately, not when you're anxious, but when you're calm. 1111 when you feel aligned with yourself instead of wishing. 222 when you choose balance instead of chasing. 444 when you feel protected exactly as you are. These are not signs telling you to move. They are confirmations that you are already where you need to be. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this reminder right now. Soulmates don't find people, they find states of being. And the state you're in now is different. You're no longer searching from emptiness. You're living from wholeness. That changes everything. Listen to this carefully. The universe had to teach you how to sit comfortably in your own life before inviting someone else into it. You had to learn how to enjoy your days without waiting for someone to complete them. You had to learn how to feel peace without questioning it. You had to learn how to trust yourself again. That's why the surprise is tied to where you are, not where you're going. Stay till the end, because this is the part most people don't expect. The connection doesn't enter with chaos. It enters with ease. It doesn't disrupt your routine, it blends into it. It doesn't make you anxious, it makes you present. Don't scroll, because recognition will come before explanation. You may feel it as a sense of familiarity, a calm curiosity, a feeling of, oh, this makes sense, rather than, finally. That difference matters. This message is for you because you've spent so long bracing for disappointment that calm almost feels suspicious. But listen to this, calm is not boredom. Calm is safety. And safety is what allows love to last. Your heart needs this right now because you were taught that love has to hurt to be real. It doesn't. Real love feels grounding, steady, and quietly exciting. Listen to this moment. The reason your soulmate is surprised by where you are is because you're not trying anymore. You're not trying to manifest. You're not trying to fix yourself. You're not trying to be seen. You're just living. And that authenticity is magnetic. That's why this connection doesn't arrive when you're searching, but when you're settled. Don't scroll, because this is important. You may also notice that your intuition feels sharper now, but calmer. You don't overanalyze. You observe. You feel. You trust. That's not detachment. That's discernment. And discernment is what keeps destiny from turning into another lesson. Listen to this carefully. The universe is not testing you anymore. It's trusting you. Trusting that you can recognize love without forcing it. Trusting that you can welcome connection without losing yourself. Trusting that you can stay grounded even when something beautiful appears. Angel numbers may continue to appear, but they feel like reassurance now, not urgency. 555 may show up when life subtly shifts. 333 when communication aligns. 222 when balance is restored. These are gentle nudges, not alarms. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The surprise is not about someone sweeping you away. It's about someone meeting you exactly where you finally arrived. Emotionally available. Spiritually grounded. Energetically open but protected. Listen to this. Your soulmate is drawn to your peace, not your pain. They don't want to rescue you. They want to walk with you. That's why this connection doesn't come when you're broken, but when you're whole enough to share life instead of surviving it. Stay till the end, because this is the cliffhanger your soul needs. The universe doesn't reveal everything at once because it doesn't want you to rush ahead of yourself. It wants you present. It wants you enjoying where you are now, because where you are now is exactly where the surprise finds you. Don't scroll away from this truth. You didn't miss your moment. You didn't arrive late. You arrived right on time. And the love meant for you is not waiting for you to change locations. It's waiting for you to stay exactly where you are, rooted, calm, and open. Listen to this final moment. If something inside you feels steady right now, if you're not excited but reassured, not anxious but curious, that's your confirmation. That's how destiny feels when it's real. And if this message resonated, if your heart feels seen and settled at the same time, stay connected in this same energy. Like, share, and subscribe, because what's coming next isn't about chasing love. It's about recognizing it when it steps into your life exactly where you finally learned how to stand. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because this is the moment where the universe begins to explain why it had to be this exact season, this exact emotional place, and this exact version of you, and listen to this carefully because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now even if everything seems ordinary on the surface. After realizing that the surprise is tied to where you are, not where you're going, a deeper understanding starts to settle in. You begin to see that life didn't slow down to punish you, it slowed down to recalibrate you. You were being gently removed from old patterns of rushing, chasing, overthinking, and emotionally relocating yourself every time you felt lonely. Stay till the end, because this part explains why nothing dramatic had to happen for everything to finally align. Listen to this. You reached a place where your nervous system feels safer than it ever has before. You don't wake up with that constant knot in your chest. You don't feel the same urgency to prove your worth, to be chosen, to be validated. That internal shift is not small, it's monumental. This message is for you because love doesn't surprise people who are still emotionally scattered. Love surprises people who are grounded enough to recognize it without fear. Don't scroll, because this is important. The universe was waiting for you to stop relocating your happiness into the future. You used to believe love would begin when something changed, when someone arrived, when circumstances shifted. But now, love is drawn to the fact that you are present in your own life. You're not living 5 steps ahead emotionally anymore. You're here. And being here is magnetic. Listen to this carefully. Soulmate energy doesn't collide with chaos, it flows into stability. That's why the surprise happens in an ordinary moment. A normal day. A familiar place. A setting you've been in many times before. And suddenly, something feels different. Not loud. Not overwhelming. Just right. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this reminder right now. Destiny doesn't always knock with thunder. Sometimes it arrives quietly because you're finally calm enough to hear it. Stay with me here. You may have noticed lately that your intuition doesn't scream anymore. It whispers. It nudges. It gently redirects you instead of yanking you away from situations. That's because your intuition trusts you now. You've proven that you'll listen. You've shown that you won't ignore red flags just to avoid being alone. You've shown that you can sit with stillness without panicking. That's why the universe is comfortable placing something precious in your life now. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The reason your soulmate is surprised by where you are is because you're not performing anymore. You're not trying to be healed, spiritual, attractive, or ready. You simply are. And authenticity is irresistible at the soul level. Listen to this moment. Angel numbers may still appear, but they don't trigger excitement anymore, they bring reassurance. 1111 when you're aligned with yourself, not wishing. 222 when balance feels natural. 444 when you feel protected in your decisions. These numbers are not telling you to move faster. They're confirming that you're exactly where you need to be. Your heart needs this right now because you once believed progress meant motion. Now you understand progress can also mean grounding. Stay till the end, because this is where the emotional revelation deepens. You are no longer afraid that being content will make you miss your moment. You're no longer worried that if you relax, love will pass you by. That fear kept you restless for a long time. But now, contentment feels like trust, not complacency. And trust is what allows alignment to reach you. Don't scroll, because here's something most people don't realize. When you stop searching for love, you stop broadcasting lack. When you stop broadcasting lack, you stop attracting lessons. And when lessons end, blessings begin. Listen to this carefully. The universe had to teach you how to enjoy your own life before introducing someone who wants to share it, not fix it. You had to learn how to be okay on your own so that connection could be a choice, not a need. That's why this surprise doesn't feel like rescue. It feels like resonance. Stay with me here. You may also notice that you're less impressed by surface-level charm now. You're more sensitive to energy, consistency, and emotional presence. You don't rush to label connections. You let them unfold. That patience is not indifference. It's discernment. And discernment is what keeps destiny from becoming another cycle. Don't scroll away from this truth. The universe is not asking you to do anything right now. It's asking you to stay where you are emotionally. Stay grounded. Stay present. Stay open without reaching. Because the moment you learned how to stand comfortably in your own life, you became visible to someone who's been aligning to meet you at that exact frequency. Listen to this moment. The surprise isn't about a grand gesture. It's about a shift in how you feel when someone enters your space. There's no anxiety spike. No fear of losing yourself. No urge to overthink. Just a sense of ease that makes you more yourself, not less. Your heart needs this reminder right now because ease once felt unfamiliar, almost suspicious. But ease is what healthy love feels like. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet cliffhanger. The universe doesn't rush what's meant to stay. It allows it to arrive gently, so it doesn't shock your nervous system or awaken old wounds. That's why this connection surprises you not with intensity, but with how normal and grounding it feels. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. You didn't miss your chance by slowing down. You didn't fall behind by choosing peace. You didn't lose momentum by staying where you are. You arrived at the exact place where love can finally meet you without breaking you. Listen to this final truth for this moment. Where you are is not a pause. It's the destination your soul needed to reach before sharing the journey with someone else. Stay present. Stay open. Stay rooted. Because the surprise isn't coming from afar. It's stepping into your life right where you finally learned how to stand. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because now the universe wants you to understand what happens after you arrive at the right place within yourself, and listen to this carefully because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now even if you feel calm and don't know why. Once you are emotionally positioned, life begins to move in subtle but undeniable ways. Not fast. Not dramatic. But precise. You may notice that your days feel more intentional, even the ordinary ones. Conversations feel more honest. Choices feel clearer. You're no longer second-guessing yourself the way you used to. That's not coincidence. That's alignment settling in. Stay till the end, because this is where most people don't realize how close they actually are to a soulmate level shift. Listen to this. When you stop emotionally relocating yourself into the future, you become visible in the present. And soulmates don't find people who are always somewhere else in their minds. They recognize people who are fully here. fully embodied, fully alive in their own life. That's why the surprise isn't about someone dramatic entering from nowhere. It's about someone noticing you differently because you're no longer trying to be noticed. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe had to teach you how to stay. Stay with your feelings. Stay with your boundaries. Stay with your peace. Before, you would abandon your center the moment hope appeared. You'd overthink. You'd rush ahead emotionally. You'd lose yourself in potential. But now, you're steady. And steadiness is rare. That's why it attracts real love instead of lessons. Listen to this carefully. Your soulmate doesn't surprise you by changing your life overnight. They surprise you by fitting into it effortlessly. They don't pull you away from who you are. They recognize who you've become. That recognition feels like relief, not intensity. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you were conditioned to believe love must feel overwhelming to be real. But overwhelming love is often unhealed love. Healthy love feels grounding. Stay with me here. You may have noticed that lately, you're less reactive. Things that once triggered anxiety now barely move you. Situations that once made you spiral now feel manageable. That emotional regulation didn't come from numbing. It came from growth. And growth is what allows destiny to enter without shaking your foundation. Don't scroll away from this truth. Angel numbers may still appear around you, but notice when they show up now. Not during chaos. Not during longing. But during moments of peace. 1111 when you're aligned with yourself. 222 when balance feels natural. 444 when you feel protected exactly where you are. These are confirmations that you don't need to go anywhere else. You're already standing on the right ground. Listen to this moment. The universe isn't asking you to prepare anymore. Preparation already happened. It's asking you to remain open while staying rooted. That balance is everything. Openness without grounding leads to loss of self. Grounding without openness leads to isolation. You're finally holding both. That's why this season feels quiet but powerful. Stay till the end, because here's the emotional revelation most people miss. The reason your soulmate is surprised by where you are is because you're not advertising your wounds anymore. You're not leading with pain. You're not seeking connection to fill a void. You're leading with wholeness. And wholeness is magnetic at the soul level. Don't scroll, because this matters. You may also notice that people interact with you differently now. They respect your time more. They sense your boundaries without you stating them. That's not luck. That's energetic clarity. When you know where you stand, others adjust accordingly. Listen to this carefully. The surprise moment doesn't feel like fate crashing into you. It feels like recognition blooming quietly. A conversation that flows effortlessly. A presence that feels familiar without history. A sense of safety without explanation. That's how soulmate energy registers when you're aligned. Your heart needs this right now because safety once felt boring to you. Now it feels sacred. Stay with me here. You might still wonder if you're imagining things, if you're reading too much into calm. But calm is not something imagination sustains. Calm is the nervous system recognizing something real. And that's what's happening now. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You didn't miss your moment by choosing peace. You didn't delay destiny by slowing down. You didn't lose love by staying where you are. You positioned yourself to receive love without losing yourself. That's the highest form of readiness. Listen to this moment. The universe doesn't reward rushing. It rewards alignment. And alignment always brings the right person at the right time in the right place. Not because you searched harder, but because you finally stopped running. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet cliffhanger your soul needs. The next interaction that matters won't announce itself as destiny. It will feel natural. Ordinary. Almost too simple. And that's how you'll know it's real. Don't scroll, because this is important. You are not waiting anymore. You are available. Available without desperation. Open without need. Grounded without walls. And that's the exact state where soulmates recognize each other. Listen to this final reassurance for now. Where you are is not temporary. It's intentional. And love isn't asking you to move. It's meeting you right where you finally learned how to stand. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because now the universe wants to show you why everything feels quieter yet heavier with meaning, and listen to this carefully because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now even if nothing extraordinary seems to be happening on the surface. After you arrive at the right inner place and begin living from it, life doesn't explode into motion, it refines itself. This is the phase where alignment starts shaping your reality through small, almost invisible adjustments. You wake up feeling more settled. You respond instead of react. You notice that your thoughts about love are no longer filled with longing, but with curiosity and calm. That's not boredom. That's stability finally taking root. Stay till the end, because this stage explains why the surprise doesn't come with noise, but with recognition. Listen to this. The universe is deeply intentional about when and where soulmate energy intersects with your life. It does not collide with chaos. It merges with coherence. That's why nothing dramatic needed to happen for you to arrive here. You didn't need a breakdown, a move, a transformation story. You simply stayed. You stayed with your healing. You stayed with your growth. You stayed with yourself. And that act of staying changed your frequency. Don't scroll, because this matters more than you think. You used to believe love would meet you when you became something else. Someone more healed, more confident, more perfect. But now you understand love meets you when you become present. When you stop abandoning yourself emotionally. When you stop negotiating your peace for connection. That's why your soulmate is surprised by where you are. You're not reaching anymore. You're not signaling need. You're just existing fully in your own life. Listen to this carefully. This phase can feel unsettling because you're no longer fueled by anticipation. Anticipation once gave your days direction. Now, peace does. And peace can feel unfamiliar when you've spent years bracing for disappointment. Your heart needs this reminder right now. Peace is not the absence of movement. It's the presence of trust. Stay with me here. You may notice that even your body feels different. Your shoulders are less tense. Your breathing is deeper. Your thoughts are less frantic. That's because your nervous system finally believes you're safe where you are. And safety is what allows love to approach without triggering old wounds. Don't scroll away from this truth. Angel numbers may still appear, but notice how they arrive now. Not as excitement spikes, but as quiet reassurance. For 44 when you choose yourself without guilt. 222 when balance feels natural instead of forced. 1111 when alignment feels calm instead of electric. These are confirmations that you're not supposed to go anywhere else. You're supposed to stay. Listen to this moment. The surprise your soulmate brings isn't about sweeping you away from your life. It's about stepping into it without disruption. They don't pull you off your path. They walk alongside it. That's why this connection doesn't demand change. It fits into who you already are. Your heart needs this right now because you once equated love with transformation. Now you understand love is about integration. Stay till the end, because here's the emotional truth most people miss. When you finally stop chasing love, love doesn't rush you. It studies you. It watches how you treat yourself. It observes how you handle stillness. It waits until you can receive without clinging. And you reach that place without realizing it. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. You might feel moments of impatience, wondering when something will finally happen. But listen to this, something already happened. You stopped running. You stopped searching. You stopped tying your worth to timelines. That internal shift is the event. Everything else is just catching up. Listen to this carefully. You're no longer attracting lessons disguised as love. You're attracting mirrors of your stability. That's why people who once felt exciting now feel exhausting. That's why chaos doesn't appeal to you anymore. That's why simplicity feels sacred. Your heart needs this reminder right now because simplicity once felt like settling. It's not. It's sustainability. Stay with me here. The universe is not asking you to do more. It's asking you to remain. Remain grounded. Remain present. Remain open without reaching. Because the moment you mastered being here, you became visible to someone who has been aligning to meet you at this exact emotional location. Don't scroll away from this knowing. The surprise moment doesn't feel like fate crashing in. It feels like recognition unfolding quietly. A conversation that feels effortless. A presence that doesn't require explanation. A sense of safety that doesn't demand reassurance. That's how soulmate energy feels when it meets readiness. Listen to this moment. You might question whether something so calm can be real. That doubt comes from old conditioning. Love taught through chaos teaches you to mistrust peace. But peace is the signal. Peace is the proof. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet cliffhanger. The universe doesn't announce alignment loudly. It allows it to reveal itself naturally. You don't miss it because you're not distracted anymore. You notice it because you're here. Don't scroll, because this is important. You didn't arrive too late. You didn't miss your window. You didn't pause your destiny by choosing stillness. You stepped into the exact place where love can finally meet you without breaking you. Listen to this final truth for now. Where you are is not temporary. It's intentional. And love is not asking you to move, chase, or become someone else. It's meeting you exactly where you finally learned how to stand, calm, whole, and ready. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because now the universe wants you to understand what this calm is preparing you for, and listen to this carefully because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now even if everything feels almost too normal. After you settle into this grounded place, after you realize you're not being asked to move or chase or change anything externally, a deeper test begins, not a test of patience, but a test of trust in the ordinary. This is where many people get restless, because they expect destiny to announce itself with intensity. But the universe is teaching you that the most powerful shifts often arrive quietly, wrapped in familiarity. Stay till the end, because this is where the meaning of the surprise becomes unmistakable. Listen to this. You are now living from a place where your worth is not on trial. You wake up, you move through your day, and even if loneliness visits sometimes, it doesn't control you. You don't feel the urge to fix yourself to be lovable. That urge used to run your life without you realizing it. And now that it's gone, there's space. Space is not emptiness, space is invitation. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe had to get you comfortable in your own presence before letting someone else share it. Before, you were emotionally relocating into the future, imagining how love would save you from discomfort. Now, you're able to sit with discomfort without abandoning yourself. That's maturity. That's readiness. Listen to this carefully. This phase can feel confusing because nothing is pushing you. No signs screaming. No emotional highs. No dramatic longing. And your mind might whisper, shouldn't something be happening by now? But something is happening. You're becoming someone who doesn't mistake urgency for destiny. Your heart needs this reminder right now because urgency once felt like passion to you. It wasn't. It was anxiety. And anxiety cannot hold love without distorting it. Stay with me here. You may notice that your desires have changed. You're not craving intensity. You're craving consistency. You're not fantasizing about grand gestures. You're imagining shared routines, quiet conversations, mutual effort. That shift didn't come from settling. It came from wisdom earned through experience. Don't scroll away from this truth. The surprise your soulmate brings is not about shaking up your life. It's about fitting into it so naturally that you wonder how you ever lived without that presence. Listen to this moment. Angel numbers may still appear, but notice how they meet you now. For 44 when you choose yourself calmly. 222 when balance feels easy instead of forced. 1111 when you feel aligned without needing reassurance. These signs are no longer instructions. They are acknowledgments. Acknowledgement that you're standing in the right place emotionally. Stay till the end, because here's the deeper revelation. The universe doesn't bring love to people who are constantly scanning for it. It brings love to people who are present enough to recognize it when it arrives quietly. You're no longer distracted by what-ifs or maybes. You're attentive to what's actually happening. That attention is magnetic. Don't scroll, because this matters. You may also notice that the people around you sense the shift. They treat you differently. They respect your time more. They don't cross boundaries as easily. That's not because you changed your personality. It's because you stopped leaking your energy. You stopped overgiving. You stopped trying to be understood by everyone. And when you stopped leaking, you became clear. Clarity is attractive at the soul level. Listen to this carefully. The reason the surprise happens where you are is because you're not trying to escape your life anymore. You're not looking for love to take you somewhere else. You're building a life you enjoy inhabiting. And when love arrives, it doesn't rescue you from your life. It joins you in it. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you once believed love would begin when your life changed. Now you see love begins when you stop waiting for life to start. Stay with me here. There may still be moments when impatience flickers, especially when days feel repetitive. When that happens, ask yourself this: am I bored, or am I finally regulated? Boredom often masks peace when the nervous system isn't used to calm. Peace can feel flat at first if chaos was familiar. But peace is where sustainable love grows. Don't scroll away from this understanding. You are learning how to trust a slow build. You are learning how to value what lasts over what excites briefly. That learning is not theoretical anymore. It's embodied. Listen to this moment. The universe is also watching how you treat yourself now that no one is watching you struggle. Do you honor your routines? Do you rest without guilt? Do you enjoy your life without waiting for permission? These behaviors signal readiness more than any affirmation ever could. Stay till the end, because this is where alignment becomes visible. Opportunities may start appearing that feel subtle but supportive. Invitations that don't demand performance. Conversations that feel easy. Environments that feel welcoming. These are not distractions. They are positioning. The universe positions you before it introduces you. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. If your soulmate energy is aligning with you, they are being drawn not to your potential, but to your presence. They are drawn to how you show up now, not to who you promise to become. That's why the surprise isn't about a dramatic entrance. It's about timing lining up with truth. Listen to this carefully. You might worry that if you don't actively look, you'll miss it. But listen closely, you can't miss what's meant to meet you where you are. That fear belongs to an old version of you that believed love was scarce. Love is not scarce. Alignment is specific. Stay with me here. This phase is asking you to remain open without reaching, curious without projecting, grounded without closing off. That balance is rare. And you're holding it. That's why the universe trusts you now. Don't scroll away from this knowing. The surprise doesn't come because you're ready to be swept away. It comes because you're ready to stand still and let someone meet you eye to eye. Listen to this moment. When the connection begins to reveal itself, it won't feel like you're stepping into the unknown. It will feel like you're stepping into something that already fits. And that's how you'll know it's real. No rush. No fear. No loss of self. Just presence meeting presence. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet truth your heart needs. You didn't pause your destiny by choosing peace. You activated it. Where you are now is not a waiting room. It's the place where love can finally find you without needing to pull you out of yourself. And that is the kind of surprise that lasts. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because this is the moment where everything you've been feeling quietly begins to reveal its purpose, and listen to this carefully because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now even if you can't explain why something inside you feels settled and alert at the same time. You are now in the phase where the universe is no longer preparing you through discomfort, but through confirmation. Not loud confirmation. Not dramatic signs. But lived confirmation. The kind that shows up as inner steadiness, as a sense that you don't need to be anywhere else to be found. And that is exactly why the surprise your soulmate brings is about where you are. Because you are no longer emotionally wandering. You're here. Fully here. Stay till the end, because this is where the journey clicks into place in a way that doesn't need effort to hold. Listen to this. When you finally stop asking life to hurry, life starts trusting you with what lasts. You're not chasing love anymore, not even spiritually. You're not scanning rooms, conversations, or timelines with that old hunger. And the absence of that hunger is not loss, it's readiness. Your heart needs this reminder right now because hunger once felt like passion to you. It wasn't. It was unhealed longing. What you feel now is openness without need, curiosity without attachment, hope without anxiety. That state is rare. And it's the exact state soulmate energy responds to. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe had to bring you here so that when love appears, it doesn't destabilize you. Before, love would shake your foundation. It would pull you out of your center. It would make you question yourself. That was not love's fault. That was timing. And timing has shifted. You are no longer someone who disappears inside connection. You are someone who remains present within it. Listen to this carefully. This is why the surprise doesn't feel like fate crashing in. It feels like recognition settling. Like two lives already moving in parallel finally noticing each other. Like nothing needs to change for something new to begin. That's how you know this isn't another lesson. Lessons feel heavy. This feels light but meaningful. Your heart needs this right now because you once believed lightness meant lack of depth. It doesn't. Lightness means safety. Stay with me here. You might notice that you're no longer afraid of being alone, but you're also not closed off to connection. That balance didn't come from effort. It came from lived experience. From heartbreak you didn't bypass. From healing you didn't rush. From moments where you chose yourself without applause. And that quiet self-loyalty is now visible in your energy. Don't scroll away from this truth. People don't just sense attraction. They sense coherence. And coherence is what draws aligned love. Listen to this moment. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they feel like gentle acknowledgments rather than guidance. For 44 when you remain grounded even when something new appears. 222 when balance holds steady. 1111 when alignment feels natural, not urgent. These are confirmations that you're not supposed to prepare anymore. You already did. Stay till the end, because this is where many people misunderstand what happens next. The universe doesn't rush the reveal because it doesn't need to. When two people are aligned, proximity does the work. Timing does the work. Presence does the work. There's no chase. No confusion. No wondering where you stand. Love doesn't arrive to test your intuition. It arrives because your intuition is finally clear enough to recognize it without fear. Don't scroll, because this is important. The surprise isn't a dramatic change of direction. It's a moment of realization. You realize you're being seen in a way that doesn't make you tense. You realize conversation feels easy, not performative. You realize you don't feel the urge to impress, fix, or anticipate abandonment. And that realization may come so gently that you almost miss it if you're expecting fireworks. But fireworks fade. What you're stepping into is steady flame. Listen to this carefully. The reason this surprise happens where you are is because you stopped outsourcing your sense of arrival to love. You arrived in yourself first. You built a life that feels inhabitable. You learned how to rest inside your own days. And now love doesn't need to rescue you from your life. It gets to join you in it. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you once believed love would begin when your life finally made sense. Now you understand love begins when you stop waiting for life to make sense. Stay with me here. You may still have moments of doubt, moments where the old fear whispers, what if I miss it? What if I don't recognize it? But listen closely. You won't miss what meets you in your peace. You won't overlook what doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Recognition happens effortlessly when alignment is real. Don't scroll away from this knowing. This phase is also about trust without urgency. You're learning that you don't need to secure the future immediately. You don't need guarantees on day one. You don't need to define everything. You can let connection unfold at a human pace. That patience isn't passivity. It's confidence. Listen to this moment. The universe is not asking you to do anything else. It's asking you to remain who you've become. To keep choosing grounded joy. To keep honoring your boundaries. To keep living your life fully without pausing it for possibility. Because possibility is already moving toward you. Stay till the end, because this is the final emotional revelation of this chapter. Love doesn't surprise you by changing who you are. It surprises you by fitting who you are. And when that happens, you don't feel swept away. You feel met. You feel seen. You feel steady. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. You did not misread the signs. You did not waste time healing. You did not arrive too early or too late. You arrived exactly where you needed to be for love to meet you without confusion. Listen to this final truth. Where you are now is not a pause in the story. It is the place the story was waiting for you to reach. And what's coming doesn't pull you forward forcefully. It steps into your life gently, respectfully, and clearly. Stay present. Stay open. Stay rooted. Because the surprise your soulmate brings isn't about changing your direction. It's about realizing you were already standing in the right place when love finally recognized you.